Live clean, eat cleaner. The only natural and patented produce wash. Eat Cleaner is a tasteless, odorless, and lab-tested line of food wash and wipes that is up to 99.9% more effective than water in cleaning wax. The only natural, patented produce wash in a 14-day study, applying Eat Cleaner all-natural fruit vegetable wash to a variety of fruit and 100 pure guaranteed vegetables. Also prolong shelf life up to 5 times longer through a natural blend of fruit acids and antioxidants. This can help save your family on average of over $500 per year, reducing waste and making it easy to get your half plate of fruit and vegetables each day. Eat Cleaner offers a wide variety of solutions for food safety and shelf life extension for consumers, retailers, food service, and operators. USDA bio-based, OMRI listed for use on organic produce, non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, made in the USA, lab-proven, and patented. So if you want cleaner fruits and veggies, try Eat Cleaner. Check the link in the description section below.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. TBox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. TBox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. TBox temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With TBox, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out TBox.com. That's right, TBox.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
The Kleins family has been getting people to go nuts for old nuts since 1995. As legends have it, a number of the Kleins friends who heard the idea said trying to name a store like that. In the excitement, the Kleins thought their friends said Old Nuts instead of Go Nuts and proceeded to throw caution to the wind. Old Nuts has over 2,000 items, bulk and wholesale prices of a whole lot of your favorite fruits, nuts, and confections. A selection of gift baskets for any budget, any occasion, and provides one of the best and impressively rated shopping experiences on the web. Fact is, between their selection, service, speed, or their online presence in the virtual mirror retail experience, they have developed an enviable client base that's comprised of personal and professional customers who count on their remarkable range of gift baskets. Think of gift basket, think about Old Nuts. Check them out, oldnuts.com. Check the link in the description section.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tough Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tough Tiger talk. Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. No rivalry could ever hold us back. No Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Since realignment in 2002 say about like talent in this division year in and year out?
Yeah, look, the first thing is relative to football, it's not a long period of time. I mean, '02 was the realignment, and I don't know if that's the only division that been to.
Yeah, it's the only one.
Is it? So look, there's been a lot of back and forth, and every year you start your goal with winning your division. That's the first goal. I don't know that you ever start your year with, hey, we have to win the division and sweep the division. The goal is to win the division and then work on getting the best possible seed. So, look, this win, this game coming up, there are other things that are, I would say, more important than, that relative to history.
Sean, I know he's been hurt some this season and that, but just how has it been just to have Ty Montgomery around, and what's he been like behind the scenes? Good.
He's a versatile. He plays a lot at the receiver position. He can play a lot at the running back. He does a lot of things. And, he's someone that has got to explode. He's good with the ball in his hands after the catch. So he's a guy that, gives us special team snaps as well. He does a lot of things for us.
Hey, Sean, how has Alex Anzalone handled some of the ups and downs of this year? More specifically, just, having reduced snaps on defense after the trade for Quan Alexander?
Yeah, listen, he's been great. And when it happened, I talked to him and just said, hey, this is always a long season. Stay focused, continue to, improve each week. And he's done that. And, fortunately we have that depth and we're going to count on him. And he's someone that has played a lot of snaps for us. But I thought he handled it well.
Do you think maybe he's kind of suited to handling some of these disappointments just because in his career, he's had injuries and stuff like that. So he's had to overcome a lot, I guess.
Yeah, look, he's a tough-minded guy. I think he's got that grit, and all the way back, he was a, tremendous high school player. You're right. He's had some shoulder problems coming out the same way. And he's constantly fought back. And I think that's a credit or a testament to him.
Yeah, he was a fullback in high school at one point, right?
I feel like all these guys were a running back at one point, right?
Probably so.
Coach, this is your third decade. Thinking about it, when you're decades into being a Saints coach, how special is that?
If you say 3 decades, that makes me feel old. We've working environment, and that starts with Mrs. Benson, our ownership, and Mickey and Dennis Lauscha and the assistant coaches, and then to the players we're acquiring. In a league, there's a lot, and it becomes harder. If all the elements aren't in concert, and I never take that for granted. And
who that to the Black Gold family members in the building?
It doesn't seem that long. It seems like 7 or 8 years, but obviously it's longer than that.
That's old man Peyton talking. 3 decades of the old man. Yeah, you're getting old, bro. Ain't no doubt about it. All right. Big ups to the family members. Thank y'all for joining me on this installment of the Sports Coma. TSC Week 17 Saints versus Panthers preview. Much love to the family members. Happy New Year to all of the Who-Dats in the Great Saint Think Tank. Big ups to you guys, and thank you for being here on this edition of the Sports Coma. The good news is it's a great year, a new year, new beginnings for the family members. The bad news is I'm only going to be with you guys for about the summation of 1 hour, today. So we'll make it up on the Sunday show pregame. We usually do on Saint Central. So Saint Central returns this upcoming Sunday, and we'll have the preview, in-game stream, and then post-game all on the entire day, Saint Central here on the Sports Coma. So today will be pretty much 1 hour here. We'll do the breakdown, and then we'll just close it out. But I promise I'll make it up to you guys on Sunday. So big ups to the family members. Thank y'all for chiming in. That's a bit of the bad news, but the good news is that we'll start the show off. That's Coach Payton breaking down his thoughts on the team moving forward. Alex Anzalone needing to step up. We got a full docket of news that we need to cover today. But, with that being said, I'm moving into now the next event. Of course, today was the day for New Year's. We have New Year's starting. New Year's mean new things, correct? Positive things, all kind of great stuff. But we're going to start this one off right here with the Dollar Tree Quartet Part 2. They return on New Year's Day. They're supposed to show up on Friday. I mean, not Friday. They're supposed to show up on Christmas, but they didn't. But they're here on New Year's Day. So without further ado, the Dollar Tree Quartet is in the building, fam. And they're going to sing to you guys a song today that's appropriate for the time and the team. So here we go. So y'all welcome the Dollar Tree Quartet.
When the Saints go marching in, oh, when the Saints go marching in, oh, how I want to be in that number, yeah. When the Saints go marching in, and when the sun refused to shine, oh, when the sun refused to shine, oh, how I want to be in that everlasting number. When the sun refused to shine, chords begin to ring, oh, when the chords begin to ring, oh, how I want to be in that everlasting number. When the chords begin to ring.
Go ahead, John.
When the Saints go marching in, when the Saints go marching in, wow, I want to be in that number right now. When the Saints go marching in, gotta give it more. When the Saints go marching in right
The Dollar Tree Quartet, y'all. The goddamn Dollar Tree Quartet performs another knockout hit. And I thought it was so very appropriate that those guys sing when the Saints go marching in. Big ups to the family members. Thank y'all for being here, man. A bit of bad news with the 1 hour, but I hope that made it up. Boy, did you like that ensemble, man? It was almost like Pop Weatherspoon, man, dressed them. You got to coordinate. Big ups to the family members. Thank y'all for being here. Big ups to you. And everybody for joining the stream today. Much love to the family members and everybody. Philanthropics, everybody for chiming in this thing. GM Kev, Ferg 318, Philanthropics, who that to you? JT Pickett and Flickett, who that to you? GM Kev Pickett, who that to you? Big ups to the True Hurts, who that to you? Torrey Shepard Sr., who that to you? Official Johnny Rocket, who that to you? Big ups. Tyra, what's up, baby? Happy New Year to you. Who that to you as well? Big ups to your Madge Prom, who that to you? Gundam, who that to you? Kelly B, what's up, Kelly? Who that to you, fam? Big ups to you as well. True Louisiana, who that to you? Happy New Year's to you, family. Appreciate you. All right, let's get that. Brother Dada, who that to you, fam? KK 504 N404 Cole, who that to you? Happy New Year's to you as well, family. Much love to you. Good to see you in the chat. Lavelle, who that to you, man? Big ups to you. Devin C, who that to you? Sad Scott, who that to you, Lavelle? Big ups to you. Thank you, Ghostface Griller. Super chat, who that to your family? Thank you for the super chat. Much love to you and appreciate you. All right, let's keep it going now. All right, Dave Debondato, chiming in from Jersey. Who that to you, Dave? Big ups to you. True Louise Animal, who that to you? Let's see who else we got there. Brother Jerry Paul Jr., who that to you, fam? Happy New Year's to you as well, my man. Appreciate you. All right, Trey Joseph, who that to you? Shedrick Mosley, who that to you? Big ups to you, fam. Good to see you in the chat as well. Who else we got to thank here? And big ups. Who that? The Who that King? Who that to you, bro? Happy New Year's to you as well, fam. Appreciate you for dropping by. Sean C, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat, fam. Who that to you? Big ups. And all the family members, man, in the building. Much love to you guys. Thank y'all for being here. Revolt Control. Big ups to my dog Revolt out in Georgia. Annie, who that to you? Annie, good to see you in the chat as well. Ghostface Griller, thank you, family, for the super chat. And who that to you? Happy holidays. Happy New Year's, rather. Troy Thompson, who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat. Who that for life? Who that to you, fam? Big ups to you. Who that nation? What's up, fam? Chiming from Texas. Who that to you? Who that MVP? Big ups to you, that fam. Good to see you in the chat as well. Much love to you. Thank all the family members in the Who That Nation and the Great Saint Tank from dropping by on this New Year's Day. Much love to you guys. I hope you guys are having a terrific New Year's Day. And may you get all of the empowering blessings that you deserve coming into this year and going forever into infinity. So big ups to the family members. And please hit upon the like button. If you aren't a subscriber, please feel free to strike upon the subscribe button as well as we get going with the show. So we got quite a few news, notes, and items to share as Coach Payton and the Dollar Tree Quartet with their third appearance stop by the show. So without further ado, family, we're going to share some and we're going to get right into it. All right, and we're going to start off with the, of course, the Friday injury report. Saints injury report for today has 8 players listed upon today's injury report. Nick Easton, of course, has fully practiced the entire week. He's good to go. Andres Peat is good to go. Malcolm Brown, the big defensive nose tackle, is good to go. Trey Hendrickson is good to go. Latavius is good to go, and we're going to need him. David Onyemata is good to go. And, of course, like I said, Josh Hill and Marcus Williams are shut down for this game. So, Kai the Great, who that to you, fam? Brandon Cormier, who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Much love to the Who That Nation and the Great Saint Think Tank. So we knew this. Josh Hill, Marcus Williams, those guys want to be shut down, and they are shut down. So we will be without them in the final matchup against the Carolina Panthers. Of course, we realized that Christian McCaffrey wasn't going to play in several weeks. His replacement, Mike Davis, who's dealing with an ankle, is shut down as well. Brian Burns is shut down. Russell Okung shut down. Troy Pryor Jr., the young defensive back, shut down. Robbie Anderson, their very productive wide receiver, is available as well. Brandon, 2005, Happy New Year to you as well, fam. Big ups to you. Thank you for dropping by. And, of course, the rest of these guys should have an opportunity to play in the game. John Miller fully practiced as well. The fullback, Alex Sarma. Efe Obada is questionable, even though he fully played. Yatir Gross-Matos, those guys probably will play in the matchup. And, of course, Natrell Jamerson, our former draft pick, is going to play as well. So looking good for the Saints on the injury front. Now, of course, Josh Hill and Marcus Williams should be available come the first playoff game, whether that's hopefully it'll be a first seed bye. If not, then hell, we'll just take whoever we're going to get, and it'll probably be the Chicago, Arizona at this point. We'll see when those games unfold. We'll have it all for you. All right, now let's get into some of the news, notes, and items here, family. Let me see if I can kind of move this around a little bit. All right, okay. All right, we did the injury report. Let's jump into this one right here. This is a big one right here. A lot of people talking about on this one. NFL fined Saints running back Alvin Kamara 5 Gs for his red and green Christmas cleats. You knew that was coming. Alvin was fined for his non-standard Christmas Day cleats. The uniform police got him. And Tom Pelissero reported the NFL fined him, the Saints running back, $5,000 for his red and green holiday cleats worn in the win over the Minnesota Vikings and those spikes Kamara rushed for the record-tying 6 touchdowns, 155 yards, and the Saints won the NFC title, considered the fine worth it. And after the game, the running back brushed aside questions about the NFL's general bah humbug stance on non-conforming footwear, knowing a fine was probably coming. If they find me, I'll match it and send it to charity. The Grinch always tries to steal Christmas, Kamara said. It took a week, but the league finally handed down minimal punishment. Of course, they waited and selected until the holiday season was almost over with before they did it. Very shrewd and stinking rotten ass league we have here. But it is what it is, you know. All right, let's move on to this one. This is a more important story right here. Saints running back Alvin Kamara tests positive for the C-19. This is a big one here because an impact was going on. And of course, this question was proposed and sent out to various people. I know many people asked me about it, including GM Kev and a lot of the family members, about will they use this to slow the Saints down. Well, the truth is we were dealing with this stuff during the season. We had the Emmanuel Sanders situation that occurred, and now Alvin Kamara is dealing with it. So the issue is, you know, that's just how it is. We'll see how it is going forward, but you're deep at the position. And listen, Latavius Murray has not really been getting a lot of burn. Now you can give him the workload shared with Ty Montgomery and even Dwayne Washington if you tend to choose. So Ty Montgomery, we've been trying to see what Ty looks like. Latavius will be the lead back. We can mix some Ty Montgomery in there. Trust me, we'll be fine against the Carolina Panthers. It's more about what it looks like on the other side of it against the playoff game, if it's indeed a wild card matchup. So we'll see how that Saints. But let's get into it. Saints' most valuable player is out for Week 17. He was placed on the C-19 list. The team announced Friday Kamara has tested positive for C-19 and will be out for Week 17 versus the Panthers. Now, should Kamara remain asymptomatic and obtain, it's really a really troublesome situation this term right here, man. Because I ain't gonna even get into it. And obtains medical clearance, he could play in the NFC wildcard game on Sunday. Weekend on Sunday, January the 10th, but not on Saturday, January the 9th. Reported thusly, the upcoming NFL playoff schedule could determine Kamara's playing status. What if we known that? We know the referees and the NFL don't want to see the Saints in the Super Bowl. I guarantee you, if a playoff game is set in the wild card matchup, it's gonna be on a Saturday. How many of them out there won't bet on that? I mean, it's just too obvious, man. The referees are brainless. They can't make all of this stuff shake by themselves. You know, they got to be pointed in the direction. There's so many calls that are called, which they're told to call. It's ridiculous. You know, and they've been manipulated for years, man. That's how they manipulate a lot of these contests. But when you get into the playoffs, it is extremely, really garbage time. You'll start seeing a lot of trash-ass stuff happen, a lot of questionable stuff. Like last year's playoffs, when the guy pushed P.J. Williams for the last play of the game to catch the touchdown, and all touchdowns are reviewable. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you get a touchdown, all of them are reviewable. There's no options to it. You know, if it's a touchdown, all of them are reviewable, especially one that decides the game. Referees decided not to review it. That wasn't even in there. That they have the option to opt out of reviewing. No, it was a fact that they had to do it, but they opted out to even review it, and it was a touchdown play. What did that tell you? So, I mean, you have to watch this type of stuff because it happens all the time in the playoffs. They get real downright dirty in the playoffs with it. So we just have to be mindful of this type of stuff. Hey, this is the Great Saint Think Tank, man. This is Sports Coma. I'm not going to sit up here and tell y'all some bullshit about the referees having integrity. They don't have no integrity. If you want a podcast or a broadcast that's going to lie to you, go find somebody else stand up here and lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm going to tell you how it go. We're going to live in the truth, or we ain't going to deal with it at all. That's just my stance. Kamara will not be allowed to practice next week, reported. Kamara initial positive C-19 swab was Thursday, which makes January 10th the earliest he could return as a positive test, demand a 10-day window. How about that? Now, Kamara is a huge part of the New Orleans offense, racking up 1688 all-purpose yards, 21 touchdowns in 2020. So that steals his ability to be able to get out there and get that, to get his 1,000 yards, and all that's just been removed from him. His season officially ends in terms of his regular season ends right now. So we just have to look forward to getting him back. And he's the second player placed on the list. Remember, joining Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who's also impactful. He's on that list as well. So there it is. So once again, this is a big story for today. Saints running back Alvin Kamara tests positive for the C-19. This is major. He's a big piece of what the Saints have. He's been there pretty much the entire year. And with him being out, the Saints will have to use Latavius Murray, Ty Montgomery, to get this thing moving. We'll get Deontay Harris back and Mike Thomas back in the playoffs. So the Saints are deep enough to survive a playoff series if Kamara is not there. You still can run the ball and punish the hell out of them. You really can. You're even a fiercer north-south running team with Latavius in there because you give him his fullback, put them tight ends out there, let them block, and let them big monsters up front, the offensive line, just maul the defenders. I mean, we built to survive this family, so I'm not tripping over this at all. All right, now let's move on, man, after covering the cleats, and it's all about Alvin, isn't it? 5,000 for the cleats and plus the positive test, man. It just don't get any worse than that for old Alvin, man. But anyway, let's move on to the next article here provided by ESPN saying the Saints could be the first team the first team to go 6-0 in the NFC South. Let's get into that article right there. The Saints have already secured the NFC South for title for 4 straight seasons. Now they're hoping for a little bit more. The Saints can still earn the NFC's top seed in the conference-only playoff bye with a win Sunday against the Carolina Panthers combined with a Green Bay loss and a Seattle win. It's a long shot. It really is, but the Saints are hoping for the best. And it's a shame we didn't take care of our own business, but it is what it is, right? All right, so let's look at the article here in quotes. We're going to read that. There's still so much out there in regards to playoff scenarios, said quarterback Drew Brees, who pointed out the number 2 seed is also up for grabs. So we want the best position ourselves for the tournament, and we also want to be playing our best football going into it. So we're constantly thinking about how we can improve. Added Saints a linebacker Demario Davis. He added that we are one goal since we've entered this season. The mission hasn't changed, so we're close now. Got 1 goal in the bag, but the mission is not complete. We got to keep going. So the Panthers are 5-10, were eliminated from playoff contention a few weeks ago, but first-year coach Matt Rule still has the team playing hard. The Panthers beat the Washington football team last week that was hoping to wrap up the NFC East title. Rule says he's continuing to play his starters without regard to the fact that every win cost them spots in the 2020 NFL draft. Before last week, the Panthers were projected to pick number 4, but now they've dropped to number 8 with 1 week to go. Rule said the idea of tanking doesn't even cross my mind. I was in Philadelphia coaching at Temple when the Sixers were in the trust the process tanking thing, and they haven't home won in the Raptors yet. Rule's philosophy is simple. He wants to develop a winning attitude in Carolina. Let's look at the offense, flexible offense. The Saints have rushed for more than 200 yards in each of their past 3 victories. More than 200 in each of their past 3 victories, which isn't exactly what Sean Payton era has been known for during most of the past decade and a half. And of course, Brees, now 41, has gotten older and recently came back from a rib and lung injuries, and two-time All-Pro wide receiver Mike Thomas has missed more than a half of the regular season, so the ability to run well certainly has helped New Orleans lately. It's always been there. I've been saying that for a long time. It's always been there. Always. The running game has always been there for them, especially the last several seasons. This year, it is the most consistent thing that you have to use is the running game. But according to Payton, that doesn't necessarily denote a significant shift in offensive philosophy. Well, it's balance or not. Each game could take a different approach, Payton says. So I'm for scoring. So there you go. So Payton said it doesn't necessarily denote a significant change in offensive philosophy. It should. When you can't throw the ball as well as you would like, you better run that ball. Then you will be able to throw it because you become balanced once you start taking on that run. And, you can then cycle between the two at your leisure. Okay, strong arm. Let's look at it. Left tackle Terron Armstead's play last Friday has been garnering a lot of attention in Saints locker room. Armstead has been in and out of the lineup with nagging injuries this season and struggled at times in his most recent return to the lineup when the Saints lost in Philly 3 games ago. But on Sunday in Minnesota, he looked as healthy and vigorous as he has all season, could be driving defenders backwards for double-digit yards during some of Alvin's best running plays. So he got a couple of guys and just ran them into the concession stand. Right tackle Ryan Ramczyk said this week after reviewing the game tape, it's cool to see that stuff. And Ramczyk puts them in the concession stands himself. Okay, jumping to the lost linebacker. The Saints are having to adapt to the loss of linebacker Quan Alexander, who had made immediate significant contributions after being acquired from San Francisco in the midseason trade. And of course, Alexander immediately replaced Alex Anzalone in the starting lineup. His first game in New Orleans on November 15 was placed on injury reserve with an Achilles injury last Friday. In 7 games, Alexander, meaning Quan, was in on 57 tackles for 3 for losses to go with 2 forced fumbles and 2 fumble recoveries. I don't know if anybody came in and gelled with the group as fast as Quan had, said DeMario. Winning third downs. The Saints have beat the Carolina Panthers 27-24 early this season, largely because of their success on third downs. 12 of 14 on those opportunities. That really has to be a priority for us. Panthers defensive coordinator Phil Snow said of slowing down the Saints. Good luck with that, buddy. Limited crowd. The stadium capacity for Sunday's game will be adjusted to 1,500, and attendance will be limited to families and friends of the Panthers and Saints due to the increase in numbers with the C virus. In addition, some private suites will be open. The Panthers allowed 5,000 fans to attend their previous home game, so it'll be dropped down to 1,500 people. So we hadn't seen too many people out there in Carolina, but shit, what they gonna watch? Carolina sucks. They ain't been doing a damn thing. All right, anyway, let's move on, family. Let's move on to the statistics and look at what we're looking at for the team, man, moving forward in the matchup. You look at some of the stuff that we're dealing with, and we'll go over some of their statistics. You look at Teddy Bridgewater versus Drew. Drew is 253 out of 358, 27-41, 2,741 yards for Breeze on the season, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Teddy Bridgewater, 327 out of 469 for 35-57, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions for Teddy Bridgewater. Top running back, Alvin, of course, he's the top running back and wide receiver. He will not play, you already know. 187 versus 932. He had 932 rushing yards with 16 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara is phenomenal. Mike Davis, their top back, 165 carries for 642 and 6 touchdowns. He is shut down, as well as Christian McCaffrey. They're all supreme weapon. And then, of course, Kamara, 83 catches for 756 with 5 touchdowns receiving-wise, is the top receiver. And the Carolina Panthers' top wide receiver is DJ Moore, 61 catches for 1,092 yards and 4 touchdowns. And they have a pretty good wide receiver core. They really do. Very productive. In time, these guys are going to be something serious once they figure it all out. Christian McCaffrey also makes it work. We're having DJ Moore there. And, of course, having a guy like Anderson and all those guys, they're pretty they're going to be pretty difficult down the line. Of course, we talked about the guys that's out in the game. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is out on the C-19 list. We know about Patrick Robinson is still on the IR. A lot of people thought that. You're thinking about Patrick Robinson can help. Nope, he's on the IR list as well. And, of course, Josh Hill, Marcus Williams, and Alvin Kamara are out for this matchup. And, of course, we already went over Carolina's people. Now we get to the statistical breakdown of what's going on there. All right, now you look at what's going on with the Saints averaging just almost 30 points a contest while allowing 22 a game. The Saints come into this matchup 11-4 and needing to win. Carolina averaging 23 points a game while giving up 24.6 a contest, which means they're perfect while they're 5-10 and 2-5 at home. Total yards, 390 yards worth of total offense for the Saints. Altogether, they throw almost 250 yards through the air per contest, and they run it at 141 yards per contest. So the Saints, you're talking about ridiculousness. This usually is in the 300s, and this here is usually hovering around, what is it, about 110, 115? It's a big change, you know? 250 yards through the air for the Saints offense, passing offense and rushing offense, 141 yards per contest. The Saints are leaning on that run attack, man, and this is going to ride them right to the Super Bowl and beat not only your opponents, but the referees in the process. It will. And, of course, you look at what they're doing. Carolina is averaging 365.9, 366 yards per contest, combined 257 through the air, and they run at about almost 109 yards per contest. Now, as far as the defense is concerned, the Saints defense altogether gives up 328 yards rounded per contest, 232.5 through the air, and they hold your ass down 95 yards per contest. And really that jump 20 yards per games after they gave up those big blissful running games against what was it, Philly and Kansas City, because we were holding them to like 75 and some change, but after that it jumped up to about 95, but still very good. And of course, you look at what the defense is doing for Carolina or not doing. 373.5 yards of what they give up. They give up almost 255 yards through the air, and the Saints, they're averaging, you put them at 250, so they spotting the Saints 5 yards, so you know you're gonna get that, right? And, of course, they give up 119 yards rushing a contest. This is the Carolina Panthers defense. So the Saints average, they giving up more than what the Saints are averaging throwing the ball. And most certainly the Saints can get every bit of that 119 yards rushing on the ground to give up 140. You test that leaky, sieve-ass Carolina defense, we'll bull rush those guys and take them on out of here. Then when they start dedicating resources up to stop the run, then we will toast them over the top. I mean, they're giving it up all over the place. It's the charity defense. You know, they just go there. They're a 501c3 ass defense. They just give up. They just give charity. You want some yards? Here goes some yards for you. Here goes some yards for you. They're just a charity ass defense. They can't stop nothing. And of course, you look at the last 5 contests for the Carolina Panthers. They did get the win over Washington. Prior to that, they dropped out to teams like Green Bay, Denver, and Minnesota. They lost to those guys. And of course, the Saints recently dropping to the Kansas City, coming back in a major way on Christmas Day against Minnesota, looking to carry that big momentum into the playoffs. So let's keep it going. Of course, looking at the NFC South standings as it looks, Saints are a top team. The Buccaneers on the Saints back right there, but the Saints already clinched, and another win makes them 11-5 moving into the playoffs. So very, very good numbers there for the Saints, man, moving forward. And of course, Carolina is a team that's just one game from the cellar where Atlanta dwells. So let's help them fall and tie for Atlanta as the worst teams in the NFC South. So big ups to that as well. So looking at the numbers again and going over the numbers again for the family members, this team, in my opinion, you look at the problem with the Carolina Panthers, they can't stop anything. You know, got a lot of young people on that side of the ball, a lot of unproven veterans too as well. And that's just what it is. They can't stop anything defensively. And they break down a lot. So you be able to throw for 255 and rush for 119, almost 120 yards a game, that's a given. So the Saints, knowing who we are, even though being without Alvin Kamara, the Saints have more than enough to be able to take care of the likes of the Carolina Panthers. Come on, man. I mean, seriously, that's light work right here. Not underestimating them, but as long as we play our game, there is nobody, especially the Carolina Panthers, that can stand in front of us. All right, now let's go on, family. We're going to go into the breakdown and look at the top statistical breakdown. Teddy Bridgewater in 14 games for Carolina. Like I said, he's 35-57, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's been sacked 30 times. In the matchup, got a rating of 94.5. So a lot of injuries towed him up. McCaffrey was a major part of it. He went down, but hey, man, a lot of bright spots for them in the end. But Teddy Bridgewater's been serviceable, to say the least. Their top rusher, of course, 642 from Mike Davis, who did a real good job coming in for Christian McCaffrey, who played only 3 games this year, which, you know, he was banged up all season long. They rushed him back too soon, gave him too much workload, overplayed him in the matchup. He got hurt again, and they had to shut him down. I know about Christian McCaffrey because I got him on my fantasy league team, and he was pretty much not giving me nothing for pretty much the whole season. And Mike Davis carried the bell for him, and he did a pretty admirable job, averaging almost 4 yards a carry. But Mike Davis is not going to be in there as well. So, of course, we know Mike is not going to be there. Teddy Bridgewater is a guy that you're going to have to rush, and you know Teddy does tend to hold on to the ball a little longer than what he's supposed to. So we'll see running backs like Rodney Smith and Reggie Bonifant. We'll see guys like that get an opportunity to come in there and try to play. And Smith, who's he played 6 games, 31 attempts for 116, averaging just under 4 yards per carry. And he's a very third string underused back. Every now and again they mix him in with Mike Davis to give him opportunity to play. But these type of guys, you'll see a Smith and a Bonifant and a Cannon. These guys who you'll probably end up seeing in the matchup. Now, Cannon's another guy that gets the ball a lot too. So he played in 13 games, and he plays in special teams and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, you look at the Carolina Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater, you get to him 2 gloves. Teddy tends to hold the ball a little longer than what you would like, and which works for the Saints because we can get in there and knock them around. Mike Davis and Christian McCaffrey's not playing, so the running game will be in the hands of running backs, underused running backs, which we'll have to neutralize. Whoever the running back is, we can't allow them to run. We got to one-dimensionalize the rushing attack, whoever the guys may be, whether it's Smith or Bonifant or Cannon. Whoever the hell it is, we got to neutralize their opportunities and stop them from moving the ball, running the ball, and put all the pressure on Teddy Bridgewater to beat the Saints. You look at the weapons, the real true weapons outside of McCaffrey and the guys, those guys are banged up. But DJ Moore is a guy that's terrific. He's their best wide receiver. Moore is a speedster, excellent target, 14 games played, 61 catches, 1,097 yards, 4 touchdowns on the season for DJ Moore. And Robbie Anderson is also a really good weapon for them as well. Hold on, let me get this straight. Moore is a good weapon for him, but Robbie Anderson is the top target, man. 92 catches for Robbie Anderson, 1,056 yards. He has 3 touchdowns on the season. Moore follows him with 61 off 107 targets. So with all that being said, you know, those are 2 dangerous receivers, and we know Robbie Anderson is good to go in this game. He was on the injury list showing something, but he's good to go. So you should see guys like Robbie Anderson. You should see guys like Curtis Samuel, who they also use as a running back, and actually 70. So it goes like this. You got Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, and then DJ Moore. Moore is the deep threat weapon that they use opposite of Robbie Anderson, who's more like a possession guy, very sure-handed, and had a tremendous season with Carolina this year. Moore is the opposite guy that can stretch the field. And then Curtis Samuel is the slot man, do-it-all weapon. He's the guy that you could put at running back. He's the guy that you use at wide receiver. He's been real impactful for them this year, and they've really found a role for Curtis Samuel, the former Ohio State product. 70 catches on the year for off 86 targets. He has 3 touchdowns as well. And each one of their top threats, Robbie Anderson, Samuel, and DJ Moore, all average double figures. Moore averages almost 18 yards per catch. You got to neutralize that because they like to throw it deep to him. Robbie Anderson is the possession guy that's good at finding holes underneath. He uses his body and length to make difficult catches. He's very long, very skinny and long, really good short-handed receiver, run very decent routes. And then Curtis Samuel is the X-factor weapon that you can use in the backfield, running the ball. He can be in a slot. He can kick return, punt return, speedster, very tough. So they have a good chemistry right there with those wide receivers. And the future's bright in that category. And, of course, the tight end is Ian Thomas, who has 19 catches. They seldom go to him in the matchup, but the Saints, without Marcus Williams, whether it's PJ, and people saying, well, Q, I'm thinking it'd be this, Patrick Robinson is inactive for this game. He's on the IR. So you'll more than likely see PJ Williams more than likely in the slot, guarding Samuel, which is a problem. And then you'll probably see DJ Swearinger back there next to Malcolm Jenkins back there in the secondary. So I like that as well because Swearinger's a hitter, and I think he can play it. And we might probably have to play a little of that double single high safety play in terms of kind of keeping, a hedge on DJ Moore, who's explosive, and also a guy like Curtis Samuel. Those guys get deep on you, and then that's a wrap. So we got to neutralize that deep play, which they like to go too often. Man averages 18 yards per catch on the season. So, I mean, you got to pay attention. That's a really eye-popping stat right there from DJ Moore. And of course, you see every time Robbie Anderson makes the catches for a first down, 11.5. Samuel gets 10.5. So you got to watch that. Those 3 wide receivers are an issue. All right, let's keep it going. Let's go down to the defense. Their top man is Jeremy Chin, who's really excelled in this defense. He's turned it up and has become really making himself have a really good name in this league. This safety has decent speed, can move around, smart. You got 110 tackles on the year, just 1 pick, a bunch of pass deflections. But he is really the beaming, shining light on that young Carolina defense on the back end, Jeremy Chin. So, we'll just watch out for him. Shaq Thompson's another speedster linebacker that moves around a lot. He has 103 tackles on the year. Trey Boston is also there as well, with Brian Burns, who's not going to play. So you'll probably see guys like Tamir Whitehead and most of those other guys get an opportunity to play. Gross Matos, who's another guy that I liked in the draft that Carolina picked up. And remember, Carolina was the only team in NFL history last year to go all defensive in the draft. That's right. The Carolina Panthers picked every player in the draft was a defensive player. That's never been done before. Carolina was wasted on that side of the field, and they built their defense up using the draft. So, I mean, that's why they're so bad. They're young. They're still learning. But Brian Burns turned into a phenomenal. He was a linebacker. They converted him to a defensive end. He was always a tweener, but he excelled in this matchup. I don't think Burns playing this matchup. He leads the team with 9 sacks. Obata is playing. He has 4.5 sacks on the year. Haynes is going to play as well, and Gross Matos is going to get an opportunity to play. So you'll see those guys are linky guys that can move around and do some stuff as well. It'll be interesting to see what they can do. But like I said, regardless or not, this defense is a leaky, sieve-ass defense. You can throw on them. You can run on them. It's just what it is. They're not a good defense because they're very young, and you could take advantage of that. All right, now let's go on down. And of course, Farrell Cooper is the return man. You'll see Trenton Cannon, who's another speedster there. Zystra, a couple of the returners that you see in kickoffs and punt returns. Their kicker is Joyce, Sly. 15 games so far, 29 to 36, just under 81% as a kicker. And Joseph Carlton is their top punter. So the Carolina Panthers, man, we don't underestimate anybody. But as long as the Saints keep it simple and run the ball, we can beat this team, man. We can beat this team probably by double digits, in my opinion. But it's always a close battle when we go out to Carolina and play the Carolina Panthers. For whatever reason, we go out there and it's always a close game. And, of course, the last few years they've been lining up the Carolina Panthers on the back of our schedule. The final game, we'll have to travel out there, and I don't know why they keep doing that, but we always seem to go out there, and we don't always play our best ball. So we're going to have to neutralize those miscues, and we're going to have to take advantage of our strengths against their weaknesses, and we should come out with a double-digit win on Carolina. If we don't flim-flam around out there, we should come out there and beat them pretty well. All right, now this is the depth chart, what we're looking like when you play against this team. Teddy Bridgewater's there. Of course, they got Rodney Smith lined up as the running back with Cannon to change of pace back with both Mike Davis and Christian McCaffrey out due to injury. Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and Curtis Samuel, those fantastic 3 wide receivers. We went over each one of them, averaging double-digit reception yards per game. Really, really awesome. Ian Thomas, a seldom used option at tight end, but does block and can come up with an occasional catch to help you move the chains. And of course, their offensive line is still a work in progress. John Miller is probably the best of the bunch for them. A lot of injuries. Russell Okon, Little, Daly, all those guys that mean something from a starter's perspective are not there. So they're really banged up, and we could take advantage of that with our pass rush, and we should do it as well. 4-3 defense. Coach Snow, defensive coordinator, runs it. Brian Burns is doubtful for this contest, which means you'll see Marquise Haynes in there. Kerr, Derek Brown, their high top pick, is in there. Really good offensive lineman. He's going to be something for him in the future. Kawan Short, man, been hurt on this team as well. So, I mean, when they finally get Kawan Short and Derek Brown together, it's going to be a difficult front to run on. But if Obata is questionable for the matchup, I think he will play for it. And Gross Yatir Matos will get an opportunity to play according to the scouting report. And of course, you look at the linebackers for this team. Shaq Thompson, who's one of their second best tackler on the team. Jermaine Carter, and of course, Jeremy Chin, who they have them trying to do what the Saints doing in terms of playing that modified nickel. And Chin does have the ability. He's a good open field tackle. He can shift to cover the tight ends as well, and he can blitz in there and make plays happen as well. Very opportunistic guy. That's why the top tackler on the team stepping out. In the secondary, Dante Jackson, the former LSU cornerback, is there. Rasul Douglas, 2 big cornerbacks there, by the way. They're not very good, in my opinion. Justin Burris and Trey Boston. Do you remember Trey Boston from his days with the Chargers as well? So the secondary gives up 250-something yards a contest. They give up 119 on the ground because they're beat up, banged up. You can definitely take advantage of this lineup right here. And, of course, watch out for the strengths they have. Teddy Bridgewater needs to be harassed all game long, and you have to be able to at least slide protection or at least keep 2 single high safety looks to neutralize the DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel situation so they don't dive bomb you all day to stay in the game. So the Saints can shift it up, give Teddy Bridgewater some confusing looks, not allow him to slide his slow tail out and put some pressure on him. I think we get this win by at least 7 points. My personal opinion is I think we beat Carolina in the final game by 10 points, to keep it real with you. All right, so big ups to the family members. Thank y'all for being here with me on this. We're going to go to a recap here of the show as well. And remember, family, we're not going to be with you that long, about another 10 minutes or so. We're going to be with the family members before we shut the stream down. early tonight. Just take a little extra rest before we get going as well. But big ups to the family members and thank y'all for supporting. Please hit up on the like button. If you hadn't hit the like button, if you are a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe if you aren't one. But let's recap. Saints injury report. Of course, the Saints, Nick Easton, Andrews Pete, Malcolm Brown, Trey Henderson, Latavius Murray, David Onyemata, all good to go. Josh Hill and Marcus Williams are not. They're not good to go, so they'll be out the final game. Of course, we know about Alvin Kamara as well as mentioned in the next two articles. He was fined $5,000 for wearing his red and green cleats as the NFL waited until New Year's Day to fine him. And of course, you look at the fact that he tested positive for C19, which means he'll be out up until not this Saturday, but up until next Saturday, possibly that Sunday. It's the 10th that he could be out for. And I guarantee you that the game that when they decide it's probably going to be on the 9th. Well, let's see how it shakes. If I'm wrong, I could be wrong. You'll see. All right, and then of course we went over the breakdown of the Saints becoming the first team to go 6-0, can become the first team to go 6-0 in the NFC South. Saints kicking ass and taking names, knocking out Carolina, gives them 6-0. They run through the division once again and ultimately head into the playoffs unabated. And of course we went over the statistics, looking at what's been going on there as well. We covered all the statistics about what we're doing offensively and defensively and what they're doing offensively and defensively as well. So big ups as well. So you see that the numbers as the Carolina Panthers here are giving up 255 through the air on all defense and giving up 119 rushing yards on the ground. So what can I tell you? Just you can take advantage of them by running the ball. Went over the statistics with the Carolina Panthers as well. Who's doing what, why, and how. And then also we went over the depth chart for the Carolina Panthers as well in this matchup. And the Saints take care of business, man. I ain't going to sit here and tell you what's an easy win or not. But I will tell you one thing. Thank you, Ghostface. Ghostface Griller. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Thank you for the super chat as well. Thank you very much. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys about a easy win. I'm just going to keep it real with you. I'm not going to sit up here and say what's an easy win or not. But as long as the Saints do what they're supposed to do in terms of running the football and playing defense and getting to the quarterback, we should beat this team by 7. I say by 10. And of course we always play, go out there in Carolina. We don't always play a solid game because we tend to overdo it. We tend to overthrow the ball too much. No, just go out there and run, man. And hopefully we can seize the momentum of the Christmas Day matchup insofar as, learning, as far as their minds discovering what we can do on the ground. When you run for 7 rushing touchdowns, that's got to imprint something in your head. It has to about, I didn't really know we were that good. Yes, I've been saying it. Yes, you are that good. And that is truly the strength of the team. And I know we love to pass the ball, but listen, the Saints could be that 140-something yards the Saints averaging this year could be a lot more than that if we would have stuck to it in a few games. This is the true strength of the team. I think Coach Payton understands that and knows that, but he's a pass-first guy, man. He ain't going to deny who he is. The question to me is, can he keep on the rushing attack knowing how pivotal and don't sink back in the screen man or going back and using the company credit card at the Screen Depot? That's the major thing that I'm looking at. Let's see how far he keeps it on that course of running the ball and operating the pass off the back of the run. You need to run in the playoffs. You really do. Because every opportunity we get, we want to throw it around. Now, the strength of this team is the running attack. And then you can throw the ball off the back of it. That's when that play action gets together. So it is what it is. But big ups to the family members, man. That's the breakdown for the show. Much love to you, to the family members as well. And big ups to the Dollar Tree Quartet making its appearance in here. The third appearance of the Dollar Tree Quartet is they song When the Saints Go Marching In. All right. So big ups to the family member, Muse of Abysmal Bliss. Thank you. Big ups to you, family. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Rush Hour, big ups to you. Who that to you as well. And all the family members out there in the chat, much love to you guys. And thank you for joining me in the show. Marty Frost, good to see you there, Marty. Big up. Will Dickerson, big ups to you as well, fam. And all the family members in this piece, man. Much love to you guys. So like I said, with a shortened show, we'll be back Sunday afternoon, about 2 hours before the game. We'll do the preview show again. We'll do the Saints Central version of it. And then, of course, family members can feel free to chime in and give their predictions and thoughts on the Carolina game. And, of course, we're going to be with you for 8 hours on Sunday, all damn day, called Saints Central. So if you're not a member of the stream, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and make sure you please hit the notification bell as well, so you can get notified. A few people telling me, Q, I'm not getting the notification. Make sure you smash upon that notification button, fam. Appreciate it. All right, who that to you, Ramsey? Big ups to you as well. Big ups to Ramsey. Good to see you in the chat, man. So once again, I'd like to thank all the beautiful Black and Gold family members for chiming in on this version of the show. I know it's short. You know, I'm taking a little extra time off, but I'll return back. The phone will be with you guys for 8 hours on Saints Central, man. 8 hours on Saints Central on Sunday, an hour and a half, 2 hours before the game. So join us then, and we'll go through it. I'll open up the lines so family members can chime in and let us know how they feel. Will be the in-game stream, and then we'll go into the post-game when Black Sway to join us as well. So I appreciate y'all for stopping by. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Happy Happy New Year's to you. And I'll see you on the next show. Peace, who that, and I'll see you.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the